Hi, welcome to Stories with me, Shonna. I'm so glad you're here today. I have a wonderful book called Dear Zoo. It's a story about a kid who wants a pet. They want an animal that they can love and take care of to live in their house with them. Do you have a pet at your house? What are some animals that can be pets? Maybe a dog. Maybe you have a dog at your house. Maybe you could have a cat. You could have fish. There's so many different animals that can live in your house and be a pet. So, if you have a pet at your house, maybe you want to listen to the story with them. They might really like it. Pause the video and go get your pet to cuddle up and listen. If you don't have a pet, how about a stuffed animal? You could get a stuffy and cuddle up and listen to the story. And you can pretend that your stuffy is a pet. Pause the video and come back. I'll wait for you. Are we ready to start? I'm going to have a sip of tea. I like a cup of tea when I read stories. Do you need a snack? If you do, go get it. All set? Ready to start? Here's our story. It's called Dear Zoo by Rod Campbell. And this book is terrific for little ones, anywhere from preschool up to early elementary age. And it's the kind of book that can really spark a good conversation. So let's settle in. Dear Zoo. Here's the words, and they say, I wrote to the zoo to send me a pet. And they sent me wait a minute, have you ever been to the zoo? A zoo has all kinds of animals from all over the world that you can visit. You can look at pictures and videos of a zoo on the computer or on YouTube. So this little person wrote to the zoo and said, I want a pet. So they sent me something very heavy. He was too big, and I sent him back. What animal do you think is behind this? It's something very big and very heavy. Too big for your house. I wonder what it is. Can you guess? Let's take a peek. It's an elephant. Did you guess elephant? It's an elephant. You can't have a pet elephant. It's too big for your house. I'll turn the page. So I wrote the zoo and they sent me what? What do you think this one is? But he was too tall, way up high, too tall. And I sent him back. What's an animal that's really tall? It's from Africa. Should we take a peek? Were you right? It's a giraffe. Giraffe doesn't fit in your house. You can't have a giraffe as a pet. No elephant. No to the giraffe. I wonder what's next. I wrote to the zoo to send me a pet, and they sent me an animal so fierce. Roar. Something fierce with claws. It says roar and danger. What do you think it is? Something fierce. I see a tail. Should we take a peek? What do you think? A lion? You can't have a lion for a pet. No to the elephant. No to a giraffe, too tall. No to a lion, too fierce and dangerous. I wrote to the zoo, please send me a pet. So they sent me this is an animal that's grumpy. And it has a big hump on its back. You can ride it. It lives in the desert. And it's called do you know? What's this animal called? You're right, it's a camel. You can't have a camel as a pet. They're grumpy. And when camels are grumpy, they spit. Yuck. I wrote to the zoo, I want a pet. They sent me something scary. Something with no legs. What's an animal that's a bit scary with no legs? Starts with S. Can you guess? Let's take a peek. What do you think it is? What do you think? It's a snake. I don't want a snake for a pet. No, thank you. Some people do have snakes. Maybe you have one at your house, but I don't want a snake as a pet. So I wrote to the zoo again. I want a pet. So they sent me an animal that's very naughty, very cheeky. It likes to eat bananas. It climbs up trees. And it starts with What animal is that? It likes bananas and starts with What do you think's in there? It's What do you think? It's a monkey. Can't have a monkey in your house. That's not a pet. Back to the zoo, monkey. I wrote to the zoo, send me a pet. So they sent me a pet. So they sent me an animal that's green and it hops. It's very jumpy. What do you think's inside there? It hops and it says ribbit, ribbit. What do you think's in that box? It's a frog. Would you like a frog as a pet? No. I wonder when the zoo's going to send a real pet. Not an elephant, not a giraffe, not a lion, not a camel, not a snake, not a monkey, not a frog. So they thought very hard and sent me a... What do you think's inside there? It says, from all your friends at the zoo. says he was perfect and I kept him. What would be a perfect pet? What do you think? It's a puppy. I do love puppies. That's a great pet. Would you like a puppy? Much better than an elephant in your house. I loved reading this story with you. What was your favorite animal? I like the puppy. Thank you for listening today, and I'll see you next time.